Dishonest, fake news, an enemy of the people. President Trump has always made it known how he feels about the media in general. Now he's taken it to a new level, and that has critics crying foul. Fox News media analyst and host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, reports on the president versus the press.
These are very, very dishonest people in many cases.
President Trump's attacks on what he calls fake news are nothing new. But now he's suggesting that the government take action against media companies. And one proposed action isn't legally possible. His latest target is NBC, which reported yesterday that in a July meeting, the president stunned top officials by saying he wanted a tenfold increase in the nuclear arsenal, despite decades of disarmament treaties. That drew a strong reaction from Mr. Trump and from some journalists.
No, I never discussed increasing it. I want it in perfect shape. That was just fake news by NBC, which gives a lot of fake news lately. And it's frankly disgusting the way the press is able to write whatever they want to write, and people should look into it.
Well, I have looked into it, and you might want to start looking into it too, Mr. President.
Mr. Trump took to Twitter to explain what he meant by looking into it. Network news has become so partisan, distorted, and fake that licenses must be challenged and, if appropriate, revoked. Not fair to public. In fact, the FCC doesn't license national networks, only local stations. And those renewals are supposed to be based on serving the community, not news content. Mr. Trump could encourage challenges to local licenses held by NBC's parent Comcast, but that would carry echoes of Nixon allies challenging the Washington Post TV license during Watergate. The president tweeted that NBC equals CNN, an insult in his eyes, and said its sources don't exist.
The president dismissed our reporting, saying it's not true and that our sources are made up. Those sources, however, do exist. In fact, 3 of them were in the room when the president talked about dramatically increasing the number of U.S. nukes.
NBC says that meeting is what triggered Rex Tillerson to call Mr. Trump, as the network reported last week, a moron, denied by his spokeswoman after the Secretary of State deflected the question at a news conference. This presidential tweet followed. Why isn't the Senate Intel Committee looking into the fake news networks in our country to see why so much of our news is just made up, fake? It would be extremely unusual for Congress to investigate the media. The committee chairman says they have no such plans. And some commentators say the president is just trolling the press.
I think he's kind of messing with them, sort of jangling a stick in their cage to get them freaked out.
President Trump has every right to criticize what he sees as unfair or untrue reporting. But when he says it's disgusting that journalists can write whatever they want to write, that's the price of the First Amendment. Brett?
Howie, thanks. The new FBI director seems to be defending the Bureau's refusal to give up information to Congress in the Russia investigation, citing a need to protect sources. This as Christopher Wray says the FBI is not investigating former FBI Director James Comet. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Harridge reports on today's developments.
After opening the FBI office in Atlanta, Fox News asked Director Christopher Wray whether there is an open investigation into his predecessor, James Comey, who leaked privileged memos about his conversation with the president to the media.
Not by the FBI. There is a Inspector General, Justice Department, Office of Inspector General investigation into some of his handling of the Clinton email matter.
After congressional complaints racing to defend the FBI and Justice Department decision not to provide information about the sources and payments for the controversial Trump dossier that launched the FBI Russia probe, Wray emphasized the Bureau and Justice Department are working to cooperate.
We have to be very careful about sources and methods. And that's an essential aspect of what we do, and any interaction with any congressional committee needs to take that into account.
Congressional records reviewed by Fox News show the House Intelligence Committee made 8 requests since March, but all were turned down or ignored. After issuing new subpoenas, the committee's chairman Devin Nunes said, after encountering a lot of resistance, we hope we'll soon be on the path to getting the information we need. The Senate Intelligence and Judiciary Committees want similar information. Democrat Dianne Feinstein said they are working through several issues.
We're in a little logjam right now. I hope we can break it and get what we need, which are subpoenas to get some documents right now.
After meetings on Capitol Hill this week, Facebook Chief Operating Officer Sheryl Sandberg told the website Axios that the Russian-backed ads designed to divide the American people should be released, adding,
"It's not just that we apologize. We're angry, we're upset. We will do everything we can to defeat them because our values are worth defending.
Tomorrow, former UN Ambassador Samantha Power is expected to testify in a closed classified session about her decision to request the identification or unmasking of Americans and Trump campaign associates who appeared in foreign intelligence reports during the 2016 election. Next week, former Attorney General Loretta Lynch is also expected to testify before 3 committees, Brett.
Follow it all. Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.